Welcome to Jason in the Kitchen. Today we're going to be making a lemon quick bread French toast with a blueberry and ginger maple syrup. Let's get started. Alright, the first thing we've got to do is make our lemon bread. I've got the oven set to 350 degrees, and then I've got our ingredients already prepped and measured out. In the stand mixer bowl, I've got 85 grams of butter and 198 grams of sugar. Then I've got 2 large eggs. Then in the mixing bowl, I've got 240 grams of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon baking powder, half teaspoon baking soda, half teaspoon of sea salt, and I just took a whisk and whisked it together. I've got a 1/4 cup measuring cup in there as well. And then in the other measuring cup, I've got 170 grams or 3/4 cup of buttermilk with a 1/4 cup or 57 grams of lemon juice and about a teaspoon of lemon zest. I just used microplane. You can use a zester, you can use a vegetable peeler, and then just cut up the peel. And then I've got my loaf pan already greased. I used cake goo, which is just equal parts shortening, oil, and flour. You can grease it however you'd like. So with the paddle attachment, what we're going to do is combine the softened butter and the sugar together on low speed. Alright, I slowly increased the speed till about medium-low till that butter and sugar got combined. So I've got it on low speed, and this is why I like to put my eggs in a measuring cup. See if I can get one out of there. There we go. Now we just want this to get absorbed and turn up the speed just a little bit to the next level. Make sure that gets nicely combined. Alright, that looks good. Now we're going to add a 1/4 cup of the flour mixture, approximately. Just put that in there, and we're going to mix that together. Alright, that looks good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape down the bowl. I just want to make sure that everything is getting nicely combined there. Alright, now we're going to add the other egg. Let that get fully combined. Alright, there we go. That egg's got combined. Now we're going to scrape down the bowl again. Make sure everything's getting combined in there. This way you don't get any lumps. Alright. 1/4 cup more flour. Gonna mix that in. And when that flour gets in there, we're gonna start adding our buttermilk a little at a time too. So we're gonna alternate back and forth between the flour and the buttermilk. So once that gets combined, we're gonna add some of the buttermilk and mixture. Then we're gonna let that get combined. Then we're going to add more flour, and we're going to keep doing this back and forth until our batter is made. Alright, so our batter looks good. It's nicely mixed. Now we're going to put it into our prepared pan. kind of spread it out, make it even. See, that wasn't too difficult, didn't take too much time. Now we're going to put this in the 350 degree oven. We're going to check it after 45 minutes. If it's starting to brown too much, we're going to put some foil over the top. If not, we're going to keep it baking. It'll take anywhere from 55 to 60 minutes depending. We'll check it and we'll take it out. Alright, the lemon bread is ready. It's come out of the oven, the toothpick was clean. I've put it on a rack to cool. And then we're going to let this cool, and we're going to make some slices to make our French toast. Okay, for the blueberry syrup, I've got half a cup of maple syrup. I'm using organic. I've got 100 milliliters of blueberry juice and 3/4 of a cup of frozen wild blueberries. Now the juice came off of the wild blueberries as I defrosted them. So if you don't have to go buy blueberry juice, if you only have fresh blueberries, you can mash some up to get juice out of there and strain them out. I'm heating this up over low heat. If you don't like your syrup warm, you don't have to do this step. You can just mix everything together. I'm just going to heat this up a little bit until it's ready. I'm just going to heat this up a little bit until it gets a little warm. You can do your own ratios of everything. If you like more blueberries and less maple syrup or whatever, just taste it. For me, I get some maple and I get blueberry, and I'm happy with that. If you want stronger blueberry, then you can put more blueberry juice or more blueberries and make it the way you like it. I decided I'm going to add some ginger to this, just because ginger, blueberries, and lemon go good together. Go back and watch the blueberry muffin video that I did. It's got lemon and ginger, and it goes very well with the blueberries. So I'm going to mix a little bit of ginger into this. That was about a 1/4 teaspoon. We'll see what that does to this. Taste that. Yeah, that's good. I get the ginger, and that's just enough for me. So there's our blueberry syrup. Now we can make our French toast batter. Okay, we're going to mix together our French toast batter ingredients. I've got 3 eggs already whisked in the mixing bowl. I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. It's kosher salt. Okay. I've got 2 tablespoons of honey that's been warmed. You can use a microwave for this if you want. I'm just going to mix this into the eggs. You just warm it up so it mixes in better. Get the rest of that out of there. Okay, and then I've got 1 cup of half and half. Now I didn't have half and half, so I used 3/4 of a cup of whole milk and a 1/4 cup of heavy cream, and that's going to make our half and half. Then we just mix all this together, and that is our French toast batter. This is a Alton Brown recipe that I like to use. It works very well, and I like using the honey as the sweetener. Alright, I'm going to make some bacon to go with our French toast. I've got some thick cut bacon here. You can use whatever you have. I've got my oven already heated to 400 degrees. And I've lightly sprayed the bottom of the sheet pan, lightly sprayed the top just to avoid stickage, and then I put a rack on the top. This is my preferred way to cook bacon in the oven. You can put parchment paper down, but if you do that, you won't be able to save the bacon grease and use it later, but that's completely up to you. Okay, I've got a cast iron skillet, 12-inch, heating up on medium-low heat while I'm gonna prepare the French toast. I cut my cake into about 1/2-inch pieces or so, 1/4 inch, I'm not measuring. They're just a little thick on the piece. And I'm gonna dip them into our French toast batter, and then I'm gonna put them on a rack to set before we put them in the cast iron skillet to fry. Just dip, undip. Normally, if you're making regular French toast, you let this sit in here for a couple minutes. But since this cake is on the softer side, it's not really stale or day old or anything, you don't want to leave it in too long because it will start to crumble. You just want to get a good amount on there and a good amount soaked through the cake where it's going to be a nice French toast. This is a recipe that I came up with while I was working at a restaurant. We had some downtime when we sold a lemon pound cake. So I took one before we glazed it. And I made a French toast out of it. And we have blueberries there for our yogurt parfait. So put the blueberries with our pancake syrup. And then I made French toast out of the pound cake. And it came out great. And I let everybody try it and they all loved it. So that's where the idea of this came from. Okay, we've got our cake now. Cake or lemon bread pieces soaked. We're going to see how they are, and then we're going to let them sit for a minute before we start frying them up. All right, so we've got our cast iron pan heated up now. I've got my pan with a rack on it, oven set to 375. This is a good way to keep your French toast warm if you're doing batches. After you make some, the first batch, put them in the oven to keep them warm while you're making the second batch. That way nothing gets cold. So I've got a 12-inch skillet here. I should be able to fit quite a bit since this lemon bread is kind of small. So you might only be able to do 2 at a time if you're doing regular brioche or challah or whatever kind of bread you usually like to use for making French toast. I'm putting a couple tablespoons of butter in here, so enough to coat the bottom. Start putting the French toast in there. Put it in, rub it around a little bit, make sure it's coated with that butter. I'd be able to get one more in there, but I think I'll start with 4. That'll be a good amount to start with. We're just going to brown this on each side, try and cook it through. Brown it up. So if you like French toast, you should try this recipe. It's something different. With the lemon and the blueberries, it's really a great combination. And we put the ginger in the syrup as well, so it'll be really good. All right, these are looking good. Go ahead and remove these from the pan. Go ahead and put these in our warmed oven. I'm going to put some more butter in the pan. And we're going to do the same thing with the second batch. So this is a lemon quick bread recipe from King Arthur flour. You can use a pound cake recipe as well. All right, we're going to do the same thing we did with the other ones. Brown this up, flip it, and then we'll be ready to serve. All right, here we go. Lemon bread French toast with blueberry ginger syrup. I left Jason's plain because he doesn't like blueberry syrup. He loves berries, but not anything cooked. So he can put whatever he wants on his. This makes a great breakfast or brunch item. You can also make a dessert out of it, so it goes well with anything. So let's see how we did here. Can't wait to get into this. Some blueberries on there, soak that up. That is so good. You get the lemon from the bread or the pound cake. The blueberries come out. A little bit of that ginger. It just goes together so well. Really need to try this. It is very, very good. Thank you so much for watching. If you find value in these videos, please like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you next time. God bless you.